بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين ما بعد. So we'll continue tonight inshallah ta'ala with Al-Arba'in al-Nawawi, 40 hadith by Imam al-Nawawi rahimahullah. We stopped on the hadith of Jibril. The hadith of Jibril. And last week we started Arkan al-Iman. Arkan al-Iman. We made it up to Al-Rukn al-Thani. Al-Iman bil-Malaika. Belief in the angels. The hadith that the Prophet ﷺ, he explained the pillars of Al-Islam when Jibril asked him what is Al-Islam, and he told him the outward things, the Shahada, the Salat, paying the Zakat, fasting Ramadan, and making the Hajj. And when Jibril asked him the pillars of Iman, when he asked him what is Iman, he described Iman as being the inward things, those things that are not apparent, that can't be seen, but those things that are internal from the belief. So he said, firstly, belief in Allah, belief in His angels, and this is where we stop on a statement of the Prophet ﷺ, and tu'mina billahi wa malaikatihi, to believe in the angels. Beief. So we pick up after the description of the angels and the discussion on some of the angels and some of their specific jobs. قال الشارح Shaykh Fawzan حفظه الله, he continued in his explanation. He says فالملائكة لهم أعمال موكلون بها يقومون بها. So the angels specifically, they have different jobs that they have to carry out. They've been specified, and Allah gave specific angels specific jobs. He said, وَهُمْ مِنْ عَالِمِ الْغَيْبِ الَّذِينَ لَا نَرَاهُمْ وَلَكِنَّنَا نُؤْمِنُ بِوُجُودِهِمْ. They're from the unseen, the world of the unseen. So we don't see the angels, but we believe, and it's from the usul of Iman. It's from the fundamental beliefs, the Islamic belief system, that we believe in the angels, even though the angels are from the unseen, the world of the unseen. We don't see the angels, but it's obligatory that we believe in them, that every Muslim believes in the angels. He says, وَنُؤْمِنُ بِأَعْمَالِهِمَ الَّتِي ذَكَرَهَا اللَّهُ جَلَّ وَعَلَى. And we believe also in those actions that those angels carry out, as Allah mentions in the Quran, and that are mentioned in the Sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ. Whatever comes in detail in the book and the Sunnah, we believe it in detail. And if it's mentioned generally without any detail, we believe in it generally as it came in the Quran and in the Sunnah. He says, أَنَّهُمْ يَقُومُونَ بِهَا بِأَمْرِهِ سُبْحَانَهُ وَتَعَالَى. That they carry out their deeds, or they carry out their jobs according to the command of Allah Jalla wa'ala. If Allah commands the angel to perform a certain action, he carries the command out, and they don't disobey Allah. The angels don't disobey Allah. لَا يَعْصُونَ اللَّهَ. That they don't disobey Allah, as Allah says in the Quran, that the angels do not disobey Allah. وَيَفْعَلُونَ مَا يُؤْمَرُونَ. And they do what they are commanded to do. So the angels are not disobedient to Allah, that they carry out the commands that they're given exactly how they were commanded. And this is in this belief, to believe this is in opposition to a few different groups of people. Some that are not Muslim, some who ascribe to Al-Islam, who hold the angel, especially the angel Jibril, as an enemy to them. So he says, لا كمن انحرف في الملائكة فمنهم من عاد بعضهم كاليهود. Like the Jews do, he says that they take some of the angels and they're enemies. That some of the angels are enemies. يعادون جبريل عليه السلام. For example, the angel Jibril. That the Jews take the angel Jibril as an enemy to them. And they say, Jibrilu aduwuna. And then he mentions also the Shia. The Shia. And there are a lot of Shia in the world. It's on the news a lot. Shia and Sunni conflict. Like that. But the Shia, and there are different groups of them. There are different groups of Shia, and they're on different levels. But from the Shia, as he says, من يعادي جبريل تأثرا باليهود, that they were affected by the aqidah, the beliefs of the Jews. So from the Shia are those who say, إن الرسالة لعلي ولكن جبريل خان وأعطاها لمحمد. And this is important to know that everything we see on the news, I think we know is not true. But some of those people that are seen on the news representing Islam, a lot of times, sometimes they're Shia. They might not be Sunni Muslims. And they might be Shiites that fall and believe this, that some of them believe that the message, the risala, the revelation, was not supposed to go to Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He wasn't supposed to receive the revelation. They say that the revelation was supposed to go to Ali bin Abi Talib radiallahu anhu. So they say that what? They say that the angel Jibril, they say that Jibril alayhi salam, he deceived Ali. He was deceptive. He wasn't truthful in carrying the message. Therefore he took it to Muhammad instead of taking it to Ali. This is from their beliefs. So the belief of Ahlul Sunnah is that the angels do not disobey the commandments of Allah. And those ayat are all through the Quran. Those ayat are through the Quran. لا يعصون الله ما أمرهم. That they do not disobey an order from Allah. ويفعلون ما يؤمرون. And they carry out the action that they've been commanded to carry out. طيب. الركن الثالث, the third pillar from the pillar of Iman. After the Prophet ﷺ, he said, Al-Iman an tu'mina billah wa malaikatihi, and then he says, wa kutubihi, to believe in the books that Allah revealed. And it says kutub, which means it's the plural of book. Kitab is one book, kutub is the plural of books, meaning every Muslim has to believe in more than just the Quran. We believe in more than the Quran. The Quran is the final revelation, and this is the one that we base our lives on. But the belief, were there other books that were revealed, that Allah revealed? We believe there were other books that Allah revealed. And the Prophet ﷺ said, when Jibril asked him, what is Iman? He said, وَكُتُبِهِ, to believe in his books. Al-Imanu bil-Kutub al-Munazzala, to believe in the books, those revealed books, the books that were revealed. فَتُؤْمِنُ بِأَنَّ اللَّهَ أَنزَلَ كُتُبًا عَلَى رُسُلِهِ. So, we all believe that Allah Jalla wa Ala, He revealed books to His messengers. He revealed books to His messengers. وَهِيَ مِنْ كَلَامِهِ وَوَحْيِهِ. And His books are from His speech, and they're from the revelation. وَفِيهَا شَرْعُهُ وَأَمْرُهُ وَنَهْيُهُ. Inside of the books are those things, those laws that Allah legislated during those time periods for those messengers. And commands that were given during that time, and prohibitions that were given for every time frame and for every messenger that received the book. He says, أَنزَلَهَا عَلَى رُسُلِهِ لِأَجْلِ بَيَانِ الْحَقِّ وَالنَّهِي عَنِ الْبَاطِلِ. That the books were revealed to the messengers so that the messengers can clarify the truth, and that the messengers can prohibit their people from falsehood, from falling into falsehood. And this is done every time and according to every book. He says, وَلِأَجْلِ هِدَايَةِ النَّاسِ. And the books were revealed to guide the people. To guide. The revealed books are a source of guidance. They're not, as what we see now, they're not for decoration. The ayat of the Quran are for guidance and to ponder over, and ultimately for guidance, not for decoration. Now we have, we hang them up, all that kind of stuff is written on t-shirts and all that kind of stuff. But there's no benefit if the ayat is on the t-shirt and you're doing a haram. There's no benefit if the ayat is on a t-shirt or a hat or a piece of clothing or it's hanging up, but it's not being implemented. At that point, it could be a proof against a person. Al-Quran, hujjatan lak aw alayk. As the Prophet ﷺ said, that the Quran will be a proof for you or a proof against you, meaning on Yawm al-Qiyamah. If a person implements, as it says in the explanation of the Hadith, if a person implements the Quran, the guidance in the Quran, then the Quran Yawm al-Qiyamah is a proof for a person. And if a person doesn't implement the Quran, if they don't implement the revelation, then the Quran will be a proof against them Yawm al-Qiyamah. May Allah protect us all from that. طيب. So he continues, it says, وَهِيَ كُتُبٌ كَثِيرًا لَا يَعْلَمُهَا إِلَّا اللَّهِ. There are many books that were revealed. How many altogether? Only Allah knows. وَالَّذِي سَمَّ اللَّهُ مِنْهَا. But there are some that Allah mentioned by name. So if there are books mentioned by name, then the obligation is that the Muslim believes in those books that were mentioned by name. Does it mean we take them as a source of guidance today? No. But do we believe that Allah revealed the book with this name? Yes. Minha at-Torah. The Torah is one that was mentioned by name in the Quran. Was Zabur, and the Zabur, which is translated as, I think, the Psalms of David. Wal Injil, the Bible. Wal Quran, the Quran that we know. Was Suhufu Ibrahim wa Musa. And the Suhuf, the pages of Ibrahim and Musa. These were mentioned by name. فَنُؤْمِنُوا بِالْكُتُبِ مَا سَمَّ اللَّهُ مِنْهَا وَمَا لَمْ يُسَمِّي. So we believe in the books that Allah mentioned by name, and we believe in the ones that He didn't mention by name. The ones that He mentioned by name, we believe them according to those names. And if there are other books that are mentioned in general, kutub, then we believe that there are other books, and we don't have to go into detail. It's a general. If Allah mentions them generally, we believe in them generally. If He mentions them with detail, we believe in the detail that He mentions them with Jalla wa Ala. He says, وَأَعْظَمُهَا الْقُرْآنُ الْكَرِيمُ. And the greatest of those books is the last book, the Quran al-Kareem, which this month is the month of the Quran. This is the month of the Quran. And this is the month that the Prophet ﷺ would increase in his standing in reading the Quran. And there are many narrations, starting from the time of the Prophet ﷺ to the Tabi'een, to the Imams after them, that they will all increase in their reading of the Quran during Ramadan. It's narrated that Imam Malik, rahimahullah, the Imam of Medina, the Muhaddith, Imam Malik, rahimahullah, that during the time of Ramadan, when Ramadan came, he would stop teaching Hadith. He would stop teaching Hadith. He would focus during that month on the Quran. And this is how the Salaf were. During the month of Ramadan, they gave a lot of attention to the Book of Allah Jalla wa Ala. And Qiyam al-Layl, standing, reading the Quran. As one narration says, Imam al-Shafi'i, rahimahullah, Imam al-Shafi'i, we know Imam al-Shafi'i, Imam al-Shafi'i, rahimahullah, it says, he finished the Quran in Ramadan 60 times, front to back. 60, not 6. 60 times in Ramadan, in the month of Ramadan. How does a person do that? They're busy. They're busy with Kitab Allah. They're busy with the Quran. It's a part of it. It's a part of their daily regimen. The routine is that I have to read some ayat from the Book of Allah. 60. And there are other narrations that some of the Salaf will read it would complete throughout the year. every 3 days, every 3 nights they would complete. But during Ramadan, he would increase it every 2 days, every 2 nights. Some of them every 7 days they would complete the Quran. But in Ramadan, they would step it up every 3 nights, like this. And this is munasib. It's appropriate that we use the last 10 nights to try to benefit as much as possible. Before we know it, we'll be praying the Eid and it'll be all over, and it'll be a mess all over again. Unless Allah saves us. Allah musta'an. طيب. الركن الرابع, the fourth pillar, الإيمان بالرسل, belief in the messengers. فتؤمنوا برسل الله من أولهم إلى آخرهم. So a person is to believe, we believe in all of the messengers, starting from the first one to the last one, which is basic Islamically, but a lot of the kuffar, a lot of non-believers, they don't know that we believe in the other messengers. They don't know we believe in Isa alayhi salam. They don't know we believe in Jesus. They think we don't believe in Jesus. Right? They don't know we don't believe. They don't know we believe in Jesus. We believe in Musa, and we believe in Dawood. We believe in the messengers that were sent. He said, "Man samma Allahu wa man lam yusammi minhum." The same principle. Those messengers that Allah mentioned by name, we believe in them exactly by name that Allah mentioned them. And if Allah just mentions messengers, we believe in those messengers also. If they have a name, if He mentioned them by name, we take the detail that comes in the text. If the text, the ayat or the hadith shows and it mentions a name of a messenger, we believe in that messenger with that name. And if it doesn't mention the name, we generally believe in all of the messengers that Allah sent. نُؤْمِنُ تُؤْمِنُ بِهِمْ جَمِيعًا. We believe in all of them. فَمَنْ جَحَدَ وَاحِدًا فَقَدْ جَحَدَ الْجَمِيعَ وَيَكُونُ كَافِرًا. So a person refuses to believe in one from the messengers, then it's as if they disbelieve in all of them. So they're not a Muslim. You can't be a Muslim. You can't be a Muslim unless you believe. And this is another thing for the non-Muslims. You can't be a Muslim unless you believe in Isa alayhi salam. Jesus. Every Muslim has to believe in Jesus. Do we believe He was the Son of God? No, we don't believe He was the Son of God. We don't believe He deserved to be worshipped. We don't raise Him to that level. We believe He was a messenger, a prophet, a messenger. Allah sent Him with the book. Do we believe in Him? Definitely. Do we believe in the miracles that He came with? You have to in order to be a Muslim. And this is Islam 101. This is not like, this is 101. This is beginning. This is Arba'in an-Nawawi is the first book. This book is the first book. 40 Hadith is the first book that the ulama advised for memorizing, for the beginner student. Beginner student, you want to memorize Hadith, you memorize these first. Start here. After here, you can go to a larger book. 42 Hadith. If you master these 42 Hadith, then you can move on, or 50 with the extra from Ibn Rajab, rahimahullah. After these 50, you can move on to the next book, which will usually be Umdat al-Ahkam, that Ali is teaching, I think, on Mondays, I think it is. Umdat al-Ahkam, which is about 400, a little over 400 hadith. And after that, Bulugh al-Maram. But this is the book that many of the ulama advise to start with in the science of hadith. So these issues are not issues that are like advanced. It's not like advanced information. This is basic. Hadith of Jibril is a basic hadith, but it contains a lot of information. طيب. He says, وَلَوْ آمَنَ بِبَعْضِهِمْ وَكَفَرَ بِبَعْضِهِمْ يَكُونُ كَافِرًا. If a person was to believe in some of the messengers, but they didn't believe in some of the other ones, then they can't be a Muslim also. Right? They say they believe in Isa, they believe in Musa, right? Noah. But they say Muhammad, I can't really take that. Salam al-Afiyah. You can't be a believer like this. Or to say I believe in Muhammad, but Isa, nah. Tafriq, separating between the belief and the messengers, is not allowed. طيب. He says, فَالَّذِي يُؤْمِنُوا بِهِمْ وَيَكْفُرُوا بِعِيسَى وَمُحَمَّدْ عَلَيْهِمَ السَّلَامِ كَالْيَهُودِ فَهُوَ كَافِرٌ. The one who they believe in all of the messengers except for Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and Isa alayhi salam, right? They can't be a Muslim. Muslim believes in every messenger. All of them. طيب? Clear? طيب. He says, وَمَنْ يُؤْمِنُ بِهِمْ وَيُنْكِرْ رِسَالَةَ مُحَمَّدٍ عليه الصلاة والسلام كالنصارى فهو كافر بالجميع. So whoever they believe in the messengers, but they deny the message that Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam came with. They believe in Isa, Musa, but they say the message, the Quran, the message that he came with, nah, I got some doubt, or they have some doubt in that, or they don't believe in that. Like who? Ones who don't believe in the message of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. They believe in Isa, they believe in Musa, Dawood, David, Christians, right? When it comes to Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, nah, we can't take that. We can't take his message. His message is not acceptable, right? And they're not Muslims. No Muslim can be a Muslim except that you believe in all of the messengers. Except that we believe in all of the messengers. It doesn't believe that we believe in the messengers the way that they believe in them. As they may worship some of the messengers. That doesn't mean we worship them, right? It doesn't mean we worship them. Do we believe that they were messengers sent with books and with miracles? Yes. طيب. So it's not acceptable, as he says, فَاللَّهُ لَا يَقْبَلُ الْإِيمَانَ بِبَعْضِ وَالْكُفْرَ بِبَعْضِ. Allah doesn't accept that a person believes in some of the messengers but not the others. As Allah says in the Quran, قال تعالى إن الذين يكفرون بالله ورسله ويريدون أن يفرقوا بين الله ورسله يقولون نؤمن ببعض ونكفر ببعض ويريدون أن يتخذوا بين ذلك السبيل أولئك هم الكافرون حقا. In Surah An-Nisa, ayahs 150 and 151, Allah said, indeed, that those who disbelieve in Allah and in His messengers, وَيُرِيدُونَ أَن يُفَرِّقُوا, and they want to separate. They want to separate between Allah and His messengers. وَيَقُولُونَ نُؤْمِنُ بِبَعْضٍ وَنَكْفُرُ بِبَعْضٍ. They say we believe in some and we believe in others. طيب. Allah says, يُرِيدُونَ أَن يَتَّخِذُوا بَيْنَ ذَلِكَ السَّبِيلَ. They're trying to take a path in the middle. أُولَٰئِكَ هُمْ الْكَافِرُونَ. Allah described them as being disbelievers. They want to do what? They want to believe in some and leave others. Allah described them as al-kafirun. طيب. And he says the same principle at the end, which is al-iman bil-rusul kullihim imanun mujmal. Belief in the messengers is a general belief in all of the messengers. All of them. Every messenger that Allah sent, we believe in them. Whether it's detailed or not detailed. If it's detailed, Allah mentions them and He mentions their story in detail, we believe in that messenger and that story with the detail. If Allah mentions them generally, maybe He just mentions their name and doesn't mention the story, we believe in them by name. If Allah doesn't even mention their name, He just mentioned that He has messengers that He sent, we believe in those messengers that He sent. Everything is according to what's mentioned in the text, either in the ayat or the Hadith. طيب. الركن الخامس, the fifth pillar. الإيمان باليوم الآخر. Belief in the last day. Belief in the last day. وهو يوم القيامة, which is يوم القيامة, the day of standing. And now he mentions some of the different names. ويسمى اليوم الآخر لأنه بعد الدنيا. It is called the last day because it occurs after this life. The last thing after this life. ويسمى يوم القيامة لقيام الناس فيه من قبورهم لرب العالمين. It's called يوم القيامة. It's called يوم القيامة, the day of standing. لقيام الناس, because the people will stand on that day. They will come out of their graves and they will stand before Allah. There will be a standing before Allah, and everyone will be held accountable for their sins, or for their good deeds and their bad deeds, for their book. That Allah says in Surah Al-Isra, that every person has a book attached to their neck, will have a book attached to their neck, Yawm al-Qiyamah. And it will be said to each person, Iqra kitabak. It will be said to every person, read your book, Kafa bi nafsika al-yawma alayka hasiba. That you are enough as a witness against yourself this day. That nobody on Yawm al-Qiyamah will be oppressed. That everybody will come with their deeds, and they say that book is a person's deeds. It's in Surah Al-Isra, number 17, the 17th surah. That every person will come with their book attached to them. Inside of that book will be the book of deeds, and everybody will be held accountable for their deeds, and every person will be made to read from their own book. And it says in the tafsir that ayat that this is the utmost, this shows the utmost justice. That nobody's going to oppress their own selves through reading that book. If anything, a person's going to try to get over. But if someone else reads your book who might not like you that much, they might have a problem with you. They might try to add something in your book or take something away. But a person is going to read their own book. And Allah said, you reading your own book is enough. It's going to be enough as a witness against our own self that we read our own book of deeds. So Allah give us salama and success Yawm al-Qiyamah. طيب ويسمى يوم البعث يوم البعث لأن الناس يبعثون فيه من قبورهم. And it's also called the day of resurrection because on that day mankind will be resurrected out of their graves. And also an-nushur. It's called Yawm an-nushur, which means وهو البعث هو البعث. He said, فَلَهُ أَسْمَاءٌ كَثِيرًا مِمَّا يَدُلُّ عَلَىٰ عِظَمَتِهِ. And there are many names that are given to Yawm al-Qiyamah which shows the greatness of that day, showing the greatness of that day based on the different events that will take place. Any other names? Anybody know any other names for Yawm al-Qiyamah mentioned in the Quran? Al-Qariya. There are many names mentioned in the Quran showing the seriousness of Yawm al-Qiyamah. طيب الإيمان باليوم القيامة الإيمان والإيمان باليوم الآخر هو التصديق بحصوله ووقوعه. He said, number one, belief in the last day is the belief that it's going to happen. That is actually going to happen. Yawm al-Qiyamah is real. It's a day, as Allah says in the Quran, إِنَّ السَّاعَةَ آتِيَةٌ. Allah said that indeed the hour is coming. As-Sa'a, that's another name. As-Sa'a, Yawm al-Qiyamah, the hour. So belief in Yawm al-Qiyamah, and these things, belief, that the Muslim has to believe in these things without any doubt. There can be no doubt that there's a day called Yawm al-Qiyamah, and that this is going to happen, and this is going to happen, and this is going to happen, according to what was mentioned in detail. Some things are mentioned in detail that are going to happen Yawm al-Qiyamah, and every Muslim, according to their knowledge, if you know the detail, then it's obligatory to believe in the detail. But you might meet a person, they might not know all of the hadith, or they might not have heard the hadith relating to walking across the sirat, right? That everybody has to walk across the bridge. Muslim, but they never know. They never heard the hadith. You don't hold that person. They're not held accountable until they know the hadith. Once they know the detail, they have to believe in the detail. If a person doesn't know the detail, they still have to believe in it, the general belief of Yawm al-Qiyamah. The belief that it's something that's going to happen, and those things that are going to happen Yawm al-Qiyamah. He says after that, ثُمَّ الْإِسْتِعْدَادُ لَهُ. After believing in it, that Yawm al-Qiyamah is real. It's a day that we have to stand. Every person is accountable for their good deeds and their bad deeds, the things that people saw us do, the things that no one saw us do, that we did in public, that we did in private. After that, it says, al-isti'dad, preparing for Yawm al-Qiyamah. That a person believes in Yawm al-Qiyamah. If we know that there's a bridge, if we know the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, where he described every person will have to walk across a bridge that will be thin as a string of hair. Some people are going to make it this far, and some people are going to fall off. If we know these are hadith, and we know the punishment in the grave, And the angels come with a hammer big enough to crack a mountain if a person gets the question wrong in the grave. If we know these are hadith, and we know the things that Allah mentioned in the Quran about the things that are going to take place Yawm al-Qiyamah, that every person is going to come with their deeds on their neck. They're going to have to read their own book. Some people are going to get their book with their right hand. Some people are going to receive the book in their left hand. If we know all of those things, then it's only right that a person prepares for that standing. That a person prepares himself to stand before Allah Jalla wa Ala. So he says, ثُمَّ الْإِسْتِعْدَادُ لَهُ فَلَا يَكْفِي أَن تُصَدِّقَ بِهِ وَتَجْزِمْ بِهِ بَلْ لَا بُدَّ مِنَ الْإِسْتِعْدَادِ لَهُ. So it's not enough, and we shouldn't feel safe that, yeah, it's a Yawm al-Qiyamah. Sahih. I believe it's Yawm al-Qiyamah. I believe it's real. Everything is going to happen. But then a person doesn't prepare for that, for all those things that's going to happen. Right? We don't do that with things in the dunya that we care about. Things in the dunya. Things now that we care about, especially if it has to do with money. If it has to do with money, we're on our A game. Now we don't miss a beat when it comes to money. Abadan. They said you got to be here tomorrow morning at 6 o'clock. Huh? Because we start docking you at 6:01 if you're not here. If you're here at 6, this is the pay. If you're here at 6:01, we start docking from the door. We there at 5:30. 5:30. Clothes ironed the night before. Everything's ready. So we ready. We prepared to the T. Kids in bed, fed, everything. Because we don't want to miss a dollar. Not $1, not one red cent.
One time I was like that.
Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. Allah protect us, man.
Ain't about the money.
Allah save us. But from the belief in Yawm al-Qiyamah is that we prepare. In Ramadan, this is the best time to prepare. Allah gives us success, to have a successful Ramadan, especially in these last 10 nights, to prepare for Yawm al-Qiyamah. That this should be a springboard for the rest of the year. This should be a springboard for the rest of the year to carry us over. Not that after the day of the Eid, Salat al-Eid, that we go right back to everything that we worked 30 days or 29 days to get rid of. And then after the Eid, we pray Eid and we just drop everything and just lose it just like that. Hijab, after the Eid, hijab is off. For some of our women, may Allah protect them all. After that, brothers, you don't see them till next Ramadan. They don't come to pray. Not Jumu'ah, not the Salat. Hey.
Can you make, is that a form of shirk? That you worship the month of Ramadan? That you come and you pray the month of Ramadan, you dress for the month of Ramadan, as soon as Ramadan is gone, you don't do it anymore?
Form of shirk.
Is that form of shirk? Because you're worshiping the month instead of worshiping the Lord's Ta'ala?
They might not necessarily be worshiping the month. They may be worshiping in the month. They're worshiping Allah in the month of Ramadan. Right? But Allah is the Lord of Ramadan and He's the Lord of the rest of the months. So most people do that because they know the reward. It's a faulty understanding. Hopefully, Allah guides everybody who's trying to do that they continue on after Ramadan. But the thing is, being around those type of places that you were in during Ramadan, after Ramadan. We hug the masjid on Ramadan. We stay in the masjid. We stay close to people. We stay away from people. I'm not messing with you. Even the kuffar. Now they know. Oh, it's Ramadan, so, my little cousin, he's not coming, he's not doing this. We know what to do and what not to do in Ramadan, right? But after Ramadan, we act like we know. Shaitan, the chains are unshackled, so it's not really me, it's the shaitan. Allah understand. We can't say that it's shirk inside of Ramadan, knowing the reward for praying in Ramadan. But the misunderstanding is that after Ramadan, I can just go back to what I was doing.
That has to do with your Iman. It decreases when it increases when you beat it to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and decreases when you beat it to the shaitan.
Right.
Nah, that's basically
Right. The Iman, part of guarding your Iman is being in the places that help to guard your Iman. And part of protecting your Iman is being in those places that we real humble. After Ramadan, it's like, it's sad. We laughing because we know it's the truth, but it's sad. It shows the reality and it shows the understanding of the Muslims in our area. I don't know about everywhere else. I'm talking about in our area. I'm talking about brothers that we walk past every day. And the sisters that walk past sisters every day. It shows the lack of understanding of the fundamentals of the religion. Basics. It shows the lack of basics. That after Ramadan, and even sometimes during Yawm al-Eid, Salat al-Fajr on the day of the Eid, naqis. People up worried about the wrong things all night, worried about getting dressed up, miss Salat al-Fajr. Priorities not in order. He says, preparing for the last day is by doing righteous actions and repenting from sins. وَالْإِكْثَارِ مِنَ الْحَسَنَاتِ, and doing a lot of good deeds. This is preparation for Yawm al-Qiyamah. If a person believes all of those things are going to happen on Yawm al-Qiyamah, that the hellfire is going to request more people to come. هَلْ مِن مَزِيد, as it says in Surah Al-Qaf. Is there any more room? Do you have any more? Allah will ask the hellfire, are you filled yet? Is it full? And the hellfire will respond, هَلْ مِن مَزِيد, you got any more to send down? Allah protect us all from the hellfire. It's a reality. If we know all that is going to happen, then we have to prepare. We have to prepare. It's a reality. We don't know if we're going to make it home tonight. We don't know when we're going to be put in the grave. And he mentions the hadith here about when the person is put into the grave and then their akhirah starts. Their hereafter starts when everybody walks away and they hear the last footsteps of everybody leaving away and everybody goes back to their business. They cry for a few days. They might not cry. And everybody goes back to work, back to school, living their lives, and then the person is left in the grave on his side facing the Kaaba. Tayyib. Then them two angels come, sit him up. Real vivid in the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ. He described it clear as day. The angels come, he's in the grave, and this is from the ilm al-ghayb. This is from the unseen. But we believe everything that our Prophet ﷺ told us. Everything he informed us, what we believe it, as long as the hadith is authentic. He said they come and they sit him up. And he's going to mention that hadith. They come and they sit him up in his grave. They sit him up. His soul is returned to him. They sit him up. They ask him 3 questions. Who is your Lord? What is your deen? And who is your prophet? And then it will start from there. And if he's successful, his grave will be widened. And if he's not successful, as the one who will say, la adri. Some people will say, la adri. I don't know who is my Lord. I don't know. Allah protect us. They will say, I don't know. I said what I heard the people saying. I don't know who he is. And as it said in the explanation of that hadith, it doesn't matter. That person, it doesn't matter if they were very educated in this world, bunch of education, real smart and real crafty with words. They won't know how to answer the questions. They won't know how to answer the questions. If we know that this would all of us are facing, then we have to prepare. It only makes sense that we prepare, but we have to be focused enough, and we have to remind each other. That's the importance of having good people around you. The reminder benefits the believer, all that kind of stuff. If we know that, then it's a must that we prepare. Tayyib. Then he mentions the ayah here that shows the greatness of Yawm al-Qiyamah, which is Surah Abasa, where Allah said, قال تعالى, يَوْمَ يَفِرُّ الْمَرْءُ مِنْ أَخِيهِ. That day, Yawm al-Qiyamah, when a man will run away from his own brother. It had nothing to do with his brother. وَأُمِّهِ وَأَبِيهِ. He'll run away from his mother and his father. وَصَاحِبَتِهِ وَبَنِيهِ. He'll be running away from his wife and his kids. Not worried about anybody. لِكُلِّ امْرِئٍ مِّنْهُمْ يَوْمَئِذٍ شَأْنٌ يُغْنِيهِ. Every person that day will have their own selves to be worried about. Imagine this, telling your mother, sorry, mom, fleeing from your mother. I got my own stuff to deal with. Your mother, your father, your kids, your wife, fleeing from them because you know you have your own business to deal with Yom Qiyamah. If it's a day like this that we know and believe, then it's only right that we prepare for this day. And this is the maqsood. He says, وَهَذَهُ الْمَقْصُودُ بِالْإِيمَانِ بِالْيَوْمِ الْآخِرِ. And this is what the intent behind belief in the last day, that a person believes in the things that it is a day, the last day, and that there are things, specific things that are going to happen that are mentioned in the Quran and mentioned in the Sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ. And if a person knows and understands that a person prepares himself for that day. فَمَنْ قَالَ إِنَّهُ لَيْسَ هُنَاكَ بَعْث وَإِنَّمَا هِيَ الْحَيَاةُ الدُّنْيَا فَقَطْ فَهَذَا كَافِرٌ. So the one who doesn't believe in the resurrection, they don't believe there's a last day, that we won't be resurrected. It's just this life. After this life, khalas. The one who doesn't believe in the resurrection is not a Muslim, it's a disbeliever. You can't be a Muslim except that you believe that there's a last day, that we're going to be held accountable for our actions. Every Muslim has to believe this. And if every Muslim believes this, then every Muslim should be preparing. 1 + 1, right? It's not rocket science. The rocket science part is that we remind each other, that we stay in the dhikr, that we stay in a state of al-Islam constantly, not just in the masjid, but at work. We go to work. We don't put on, we can't dress for this occasion, but, when we go to work, we're a different person. When we go here, we're a different person. By yourself, you're a different person. With the brothers, a different person. That we die in the state of al-Islam, as the ayah says in the Quran. And we'll stop there till next week, because it's almost time to break. Inshallah, we'll pick up with Al-Rukn al-Sadis, which is belief in the Qadr, belief in the divine decree. Any questions?
When you spoke about the 3 questions of the grave, the answer to the questions, right? Is there stipulations that come along with the answer to the questions? And what I mean by that is, like us being Muslims, like right now, we could say, we can ask those questions. We can say, yeah, my Lord is Allah, my Prophet is Muhammad, my deen is Islam.
Right.
But for the one who, let's say they're not diligent in learning the religion, or they lackadaisical with learning the religion, and they don't, let's say they don't learn about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Right.
But if you ask them in this life,
Right.
like, who is your Lord, they'll say Allah.
Right.
Who is your messenger? Oh, Muhammad.
Mm.
But they lack
Right.
the knowledge.
They ain't dealing.
Yeah, exactly. They're not dealing.
Allah.
Will that type of individual have a problem with answering those questions on the day of Yom Kippur?
Allahu Ta'ala alam. But it's definitely a possibility.
Okay.
And it's not worth the gamble to wait till Yom Qiyamah to find out. So it's better right now to prep now, know our Lord, try to protect our Iman now, so that we can try to secure what we can secure for Yom Qiyamah. To mess around and be lazy and then wait Yom Qiyamah, show up, maybe not. Allah. Sallallahu alaihi wa sallam wa baraka nabiyina Muhammad.